Hello, everybody. My name is John Drake, and I am doing my informative speech on Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is a form of yoga that was developed and popularized by Pattabhi Jois at his Yoga Institute in Mysore, India. Pattabhi started doing yoga at about the age of 12, and in 1948 he started his own institute in the town of Mysore, India, and he developed a system of yoga for his students that he kind of deemed were a little lackadaisical, maybe would be a good word. So he came up with a more disciplined method of yoga, which he termed Ashtanga. Ashtanga means 8 limbs, and I will get into that a little bit later on. Um, Ashtanga is generally characterized by a system of movements and breath, which is called vinyasa. The term vinyasa specifically refers to a series of movements that are done between postures. These postures are known as asanas. Ashtanga is a little bit different than a lot of typical types of yoga you see here in the West, in the United States, and in Europe. One of the things that makes it different is that the order of the postures is predetermined. There is no variance from these. It's very set in stone. It's the same way. It's the same mixture of postures and breaths throughout the whole practice, through every practice. Um, Now, there are different sequences in Ashtanga Yoga. There is an opening sequence, which consists of your sun salutations and things like that. The sun sals are where you see your downward dog and all those positions that a lot of people are familiar with, even those that don't practice yoga. From your sun salutations, you get into the series sequence. Now, the series sequences vary a lot, kind of depending on where you are in your practice. There's primary series, which is the beginning standing sequences. From primary series, you can go into intermediate series, which is a little bit more advanced, and then you get into your 4 advanced series, which are called A, B, C, and D. Now, I have been practicing Ashtanga Yoga for 5 years, and I'm somewhere in the realm of intermediate and beginning advanced. I'm just started kind of doing some of the advanced A stuff. Now, I know people that have been doing Ashtanga Yoga for 20 years that are, they're pretty much on the same level field that I am. On the flip side of that, I know some people that have been doing Ashtanga Yoga for 5 years who are well into their advanced practice. So it's just all kind of depends on where you're at with your practice and what you're doing. A lot of famous people are practitioners of Ashtanga. A lot of famous people have gone to Mysore to study with Pattabhi in his studio in Mysore, India. Madonna, Sting, Gwyneth Paltrow. These are all people that are ardent practitioners of Ashtanga. Now, Ashtanga means 8 limbs. These 8 limbs represent the Yoga Sutras, which is kind of a set of moral codes, if you will, that Ashtangis are supposed to practice. First, there is Yama, which is a set of moral codes. There is Niyama, which is self-purification and study. There is Asana, which are the postures. There is Pranayama, which are the breathing exercises. There's Pratyahara, which is a form of sensory deprivation. There's Pratyahara, which is your concentration. There's Dhyana, which is deep meditation. And there's Samadhi, which is characterized as a union with self. And using all of this stuff together, you kind of get into the practice of Ashtanga Yoga. I'm going to use a visual here real quick, and this is a poster of that is a poster of David Williams. David Williams is actually a person that I trained with for a few workshops. He was here in Dallas I guess that was about 2 years ago, and David actually was in Mysore, India, back in 1973, training with Patabi in his studio in Mysore. So I'm very fortunate in my yoga lineage in that I have a direct link to Mysore. My goal one day, what I would like to do is to actually fly over to Mysore and spend a couple of weeks there training in the studio and to advance my own practice. But I appreciate all of you tuning in, and thank you, and I hope you learned something today.